Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Wrestling Roundup. This is the show where I give you this week's WWE and TNA news, rumors, and recap. So Monday Night Raw kicked off with the Authority demanding that Dean Ambrose return Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase, which he stole on SmackDown. Ambrose obviously wasn't going to give it up that easily. Later in the show, Triple H had Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble go after Dean Ambrose and the briefcase. Eventually Ambrose was in the ring and just decided, Seth, you can have it. Of course, when Rollins went to open the briefcase, he got slimed. It's like good old Nickelodeon all over again, just all over. Arguably that was a little kiddish, for the kids, but I thought it was really funny. Dean stole the show on Monday night. I know a lot of people say this, and it's kind of cliche, but he really is the new Stone Cold. Anyways, later in the show, Seth Rollins did get his revenge. The main event was Randy Orton and Kane versus Ambrose and Cena. Well, after the match, Seth Rollins delivered a curb stomp to both John Cena and Dean Ambrose onto the briefcase. Dolph Ziggler retained the Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat match between The Miz and Cesaro. I'm loving that WWE is giving us all these Intercontinental title matches every week. It makes the title feel so important, and the matches are phenomenal. So there was a segment involving Big Show and Rusev this week. Big Show ripped down the Russian flag that hangs above the ring, and then later in the week, apologized for it. Paige introduced AJ Lee to her new best friend, Alicia Fox. So this week kicked off the Susan G. Komen month, where it's all about breast cancer and everything is pink. So Hulk Hogan delivered like a 10-minute shilling promo just trying to get people to get behind that. In this week's episode of NXT, there were two championship matches. First, Charlotte retained the NXT Women's Championship against Bayley. And in the main event, Adrian Neville retained the NXT Championship against Tyson Kidd. And it was Tyson Kidd's last NXT title shot, as long as Adrian Neville held the title. In this week's episode of TNA, Havoc won the Knockouts Championship by defeating an injured Gail Kim. It was announced that next week on Raw, Rusev will clash with The Big Show. This week they've been showing a lot of Wyatt family vignettes, and they've all been focused around one person, Luke Harper. Apparently, these vignettes are setting up the split of the Wyatt family, and a singles push for Luke Harper. We've been talking about the stable of Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi Kingston for a while. They appeared on TV a few months ago and then just haven't been on as a group. Apparently they're still working house shows, and Xavier Woods gave a name for the team, the Smart Athletic Friends. One thing that's interesting is the team on house shows, apparently, instead of working as the Smart Athletic Friends, each tag team duo will have a different name. For example, Big E and Xavier Woods are called Muscle Bomb. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are called Speed Force. And they haven't said what Kofi and Big E's names are. I dig that. I think it's pretty cool. The Undertaker ran a marathon this week with his wife Michelle McCool, and apparently a fan asked him about WrestleMania 31. The Undertaker responded with the fact that he is not ruling out wrestling at WrestleMania 31. So there is a chance we could see the dead man return. Nick Dinsmore, formerly known as Eugene, was released as a developmental trainer. Rumor has it that WWE might be trying to turn Randy Orton into a babyface over the next few months. Randy Orton, to me, is not a good face. Right now he's at that point where there's not really anything for him to do, so they're probably just thinking, turn him face, it's something to do. And it'd be interesting, but I just don't want it. I really don't. Rumor has it that Rusev might be challenging for the United States Championship very soon, and it's about time. If you're doing this patriotic thing, which is so overdone and so lame, why wouldn't he be going for the United States Championship? And rumor has it that Chris Jericho is scheduled to return in November as he's being advertised for shows in the UK. It's a lot sooner than I was expecting. In fact, I didn't expect him back for at least a year. But we might be seeing Y2J back very soon. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Wrestling Roundup. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.